here's probably where I would have held my first friend's hand to cross the street, So I was smart enough to say, help me. I can't walk very well.
Of course. You have 3 sisters, no?
I have 3 sisters.
How is it to have 3 sisters?
3 sisters and me. Imagine that.
Yeah,
My parents must have been like lucked out.
Yeah, dude, they're just like, for your dad, I can't imagine he must have been like...
Can you imagine?
There's like 4 women in the house.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bombay Journey, but this time it is the Delhi edition presented by Walkers & Co. Well, today we have an amazing entrepreneur but also a queer rights activist, Mr. Keshav Suri of the Lalit Suri Group. He's the executive director of the Lalit Group that you may all know about, the hotel chain that I'm talking about. Well, he founded Kitty Sue and supports the deeply marginalized LGBTQIA+ community. Well, the Pride Month may be over, but we at Mashable India believe that we need to push our boundaries. So this is us continuing to walk. We keep walking and give you amazing content. A huge shout out to the Range Rover Group for sending us the autobiography. Come, let's go meet Keshav Suri.
Hello and good morning, Keshav Suri, the executive director of Lalit Group, the youngest in the world, in one of the youngest, yeah?
In the world.
In the world, in Asia, in India.
The youngest person ever, yeah. I'm the youngest because my sisters are much older than me.
Yes, of course, that's a good way to put it. But this is the Bombay Journey Delhi edition presented by Walkers & Co. We're in Delhi, so you can just like start talking about the areas that may have relevance. And
so we're now getting to Bengali Market, and Bengali Market is a sort of iconic market. It's very close to the hotel, and you get the best pani puri or puchkas.
Of course.
Puchkas. It's the best here.
I know the chole bhature are also quite nice.
Chole bhature. I mean, it's of course all the fast food that you get here is amazing, but most known for their puchkas.
Are you a street food and fast food person?
I'm a food person, as you can see from my body. So, so for me, I am just food. Yeah, I love food.
Yeah, but you're a full Delhi boy, right? You were born, brought up here.
Oh my God, that's such a negative connotation to Delhi boy. No,
folks from Delhi watching this, let's try and change this.
Change the narrative.
Yeah, first I'm not going to peddle a Mumbai-Delhi thing.
Mumbai versus Delhi thing. No, I actually love Mumbai, by the way.
You do?
I actually love Mumbai.
You worked in Mumbai in HUL, right?
I have worked, and I was telling you the story about how I used to travel from the hotel, which is completely next to the airport, to Kala Ghoda. This is pre-sealing days. On a daily basis, and I used to go to work, yes. And
so every time he says hotel, folks, he means the Lalit?
Yes.
Just FYI. So tell me this, growing up in Delhi, how much does this city lend to who you are and how you are and what you do?
Delhi, it lent a lot, for me at least, on a personal journey. I don't know how it is so much lending itself for the newer generation, but when I was growing up, it is a very sort of almost, it formed a lot of my journey. And I think that maybe, I don't know if things were different and if I was living in another city, would I have been as vocal or maybe as much for the queer community as I am in Delhi? Because in Delhi, somehow it just... The scenario, just the vibe of the city is as such that you feel like, filing a petition.
I know.
You feel like... I guess because it's the
Why is this the norm? Why can't we fight it?
Yes. In Delhi, everything becomes so argumentative now. And it's such a two sides of the spectrum kind of city, right?
Yeah.
And so... Yeah, very early on, I think the fire and the instinct of fighting sort of is instilled in us in Delhi at a very young age. Yeah.
So you studied in St. Columbus?
I did, yes.
We're going to be heading towards St. Columbus, truly understanding the journey. But how was it in school?
Oh, so, that I keep giving this answer where I keep saying that I don't know if people want to hear a poor little privileged boy's struggles and journey, because at the end of the day, I have to keep and acknowledge my privilege. I have to check it also. And so, but yes, it was not the easiest. It was very strange. Let's put it this way. When I was younger in class, it was an all-boys Catholic school.
Yeah.
And so all the roles of women in the nativity plays and all, the teachers would choose the students. Lo and behold, I was always chosen.
Of course.
And then as we grew up and as we grew older, we started choosing the roles ourselves. They gave us freedom of choice finally, right? And so then I would always gravitate to doing the women's role. And so I was doing drag without really knowing the
that it was
word
drag.
drag.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so in those moments, it was very much celebrated being queer, because at the end of the day, where I was queer, it was very much celebrated. But it was out of those moments, I think, when I really did feel like, okay, it's an all-boys school and there is all that boy bullying and there is all that sort of, things that how boys do, I guess.
You had your share of, like, if you're okay talking
massively. I had my share in a big way, and I basically learned how to do a sort of have a thick skin. In any case, in a Catholic school at that time, when hitting was also allowed by teachers, caning.
Yeah.
We would get dusters on our face, chalk in our mouth.
I've
So
been there.
that bit, of course, happened, right?
I'll come to some fun bits.
Yeah.
When did you start dating then?
Oh, that's well, I mean, in school, I did, whilst I had the trauma of all the shit that I went through in school, but I also had some good times in school.
I'm sure that's what I was coming to.
And I have to say, yes. So I don't know if you call it dating.
Yeah, it's just puppy love.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if it was dating, but yeah, I used to hang out with some. I can't name them at all.
Yeah, for sure. Were you the kind?
I will never be able to.
Yeah. Were you the kind taking the initiative, asking them out?
Actually, no. It always sort of fell more onto the other person taking advantage of how gorgeous and stunning and amazing I was.
Is that the love story with Cyril also?
No, actually, there. Yeah. Okay. So the love story of Cyril was it's funny because one of my closest friends who actually is a lawyer and also fought for my petition for the 377 and reading down of 377 and the decriminalization of homosexuality. She's the one who made us meet.
Oh, wow.
And it is a very interesting story if you have a minute.
Yes, I do. This is for that.
I had just come back from a holiday, and so this was, around the time when I had moved back to India. My father had passed away, and I had come out to my family before my father had passed away. But when I came back to India, because it was such a shock that my father had passed away, and the way we were dealing with it, that sort of my sexuality took a backseat.
Okay.
And so I just was like, this is not about me right now. It's about us grieving as a family together and all of that. So when I came back, I sort of was going through this, did I do the right thing of coming back? There's always this existential question of, if my father was still alive, would I have ever come back at all? And would I have done what I had to do? So I was having these sort of, existential crises, and my friend was on the phone and she was at somebody's party, and I know very well that it was going to be where there were going to be a lot of gay men and queer people. So as a joke, I just said, why don't you get somebody to come with you and I'll meet you at 24/7 bar at the hotel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I didn't know that she was going to actually follow through. She's like, okay, by the way, I have two options. One is a French guy and the other is this guy from Hong Kong, Indian origin. And I'm like, are we on a buffet? What? But as just a whim, I honestly didn't think she would follow through. It was just like a sort of crazy conversation that you have with friends.
What a lovely
So I was like,
cute.
I just came back from France, from south of France. Why not? Why get the Frenchie?
Yeah.
And in between, I picked up one of my other very close friends, best friend, and I was like, she's doing this, I think it's going to be rubbish, so let's just us have a drink out of it, right?
Okay.
We'll go to the bar, we'll have a quick drink. And I walked into the bar, and lo and behold, she had Cyril with her. And it was crazy, and I was like, oh my God. And then it was instantaneous.
But that's some
And-
amount of clarity of thought at a very young age, no? Because you've already started pushing boundaries of some sorts.
Completely, because in the house it was not an easy time to live. They were very upset. I almost felt that my father was going to throw me out.
Oh wow, that heavy, huh?
It was heavy, but I stuck to it. Just like how one day I woke up at when I was 13 years old and I said, I am vegetarian. I love food, but I'm vegetarian.
Oh yes.
And
You were able to just like give up.
I think it broke my Punjabi father's heart more than when I came out of the closet.
Oh, wow.
I think he shed a tear the day I said I'm vegetarian.
How can you say no to chicken tikka? It's like no, but so we are around the school. Are there stories from this area?
This is Golda Khana, and
Yeah.
clearly it's sort of under renovation.
Correct. I'm
Yeah.
saddened to see the beautiful building.
It's under renovation, but we used to bunk school a lot. Of course, I should not say this. We used to come to this area.
Oh wow.
And just basically hang around here quite a bit. Here's probably where I would have held my first friend's hand to cross the street, you know. So I was smart enough to say, help me. I can't walk very well.
Of course, of course.
There were no crosswalks at that time.
Yeah. You don't have to justify yourself. जिसको समझना वो समझ चुका है.
Back then, this was our senior school. I don't know if it is still senior school. Then there was the Edmund Rice Hall, which is in the center, which is where we would do all the plays, where I would be in drag.
Oh wow.
I would wear saris. I would wear, I would take like my dad's executive assistant's skirt, a bra, top. By the way, they had no problem with that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I mean, guys, really, and there are pictures of me that they've hung up of me in drag in a play that they have hung up in their living room.
Amazing.
And I was like, and you guys were confused when I sort of came out. You suddenly were like,
Shock.
Hey? Ye kya hua? They're like, yeah, no, we had to pretend a little bit.
Yeah.
Clutching
You
our
want to get
pearls.
down and just look at it? for 2
Sure.
minutes? Yeah, why
If
not?
you want to. I haven't been here, I think was now almost 15 years now. I haven't come back to school in 15 years. I came back once with one of my, this is before I met Cyril, one of my school friends. And we went up those staircase where we were holding hands.
That is the love.
That was
That
just
is the school love.
That was the last time I think I came here.
Yeah. I always ask this to folks who are at business leadership positions, and this is more of a Mashable Mornings question, but how can brands be more inclusive and just not like a whitewashing kind of an
A
initiative?
rainbow washing.
Yeah,
sort of,
like a rainbow washing. The real deal inclusive.
So I think the real deal inclusive is when diversity, equity and inclusion forms a part of your DNA.
Yeah.
So in every conversation, be it a morning meeting, evening meeting, basically bring it up. But then having conversations and sensitizing your team is the basis, and it's a basic. It is important too.
Yeah.
Because we feel that a lot of people actually have educated them. No, they don't. Until the company doesn't talk about it, until they don't sensitize the team, your team is not going to be able to try and even walk in anybody's shoes. See, we can't walk in everybody's shoes, but we can sure as hell try.
Correct.
What I would recommend also to companies now is if don't make it just an HR and training thing.
Yeah.
Right? Don't just, unless your HR and training and diversity and equity inclusion people are so empowered that they are sitting on your boards, that they are presenting to your board of directors and your potential investors. If you're not doing it, then if you do it as just an HR thing, your
That's
team
a
is
very
going to
token.
necessarily get bored, get zone out and be like, अच्छा देखो हमने ये tick mark कर लिया, we are done, we are inclusive.
Yeah.
नहीं. So that is why it has to be done from a top-down perspective, and I know as a gay man talking about tops and bottoms, but it also has to come from a bottom-up perspective. This is a joke that I stole from a very close friend of mine, Parmesh, who's written this beautiful book called Queeristan, which I highly recommend everybody go and get.
Yes.
It talks a lot about the Lalit and our inclusion journey, but it also talks about the LGBTQ inclusion journey at the workplace.
We're at India Gate.
We're at India Gate.
Have to
do a namaskar.
Namaskar. Yes, that's important.
Ice cream was the most important part of.
Oh, you did those
India
like midnight
Gate.
trips also?
Oh my God, all the time, and it was always something I looked forward to, because my mum used to work very hard, and she would always feel guilty because I was the youngest, and she would feel guilty because she spent a lot of more time with my sisters while they were growing up. Because I was the youngest, she did not, because she and dad were really focused on their work. But she would take me for those ice cream trips here.
Oh yeah.
And so it was a big bonding between just mom and me. And then of course with my extended family later, they would crash into our dates. So it really formed a big...
you have 3 sisters, no?
I have 3 sisters.
How is it to have 3 sisters?
3 sisters and me. Imagine that.
Yeah,
my parents must have been like lucked out.
Yeah, dude, they're just like, for your dad, I can't imagine. He must have been like...
Can you imagine?
There's like 4 women in the house.
Yes, and then me.
It's perfect.
Sorry, I'm cutting it. Now we're in Khan Market.
Yes, you have to. Yeah.
We are in the iconic Khan Market. This is a staple for every Delhi person.
Yes.
And it has seen so many changes.
I have seen Khan Market evolve into such cafes.
Big Chill.
What are these? Yeah.
Big Chill is another staple. You've got, pretty much everything here. I used to have the best Korean food also. It's really evolved. Used to get best momos also. Now it's come something else.
Yeah.
It's changed. Every time you come to Khan Market, it changes.
It's a different Khan Market. It's 2023. And, coming out stories shouldn't be a thing, but I've always felt that it helps somebody somewhere understand that this can be a route that they can take if they want to come out to their folks.
Yeah.
So just to understand, if you want to just quickly share your coming out story.
So my coming out story was rooted in my education as well. So it was when I was in King's. So in Warwick, like I said, I was deeply closeted.
Yeah.
However, I always felt as a queer kid, right? I just told you the stories of what my life was like in Columbus and drag and just the women that I was surrounded with was just such a big important figures in my life, and the empathy levels that I have are because of the women that were there in my life. I just bit it down in Warwick because I felt not only the pressures of should I give in to what everybody is around me, but I also felt the pressures of, oh my God, I'm growing up, I'm going to go back. I definitely am going to go back to India at some point. How is it going to be? So all of that was playing in my head. And then when I reached King's, I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin. I could have done a lavender marriage. I could have ruined somebody's lives, or I could have done a deal with somebody who may be, from be it a lesbian and I as a gay man, and done a sort of marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that. And I didn't want to brush the hair on the right side, as everyone would say.
Yeah.
And so I decided that no, this is me. This is my whole self. I came out to my parents. I came out to my sisters. It was a very odd sort of coming out. I wish I would have tackled things differently. I said things like, I think instead of I know.
Okay.
And then I think also I sort of, in a way, they were actually very cool about it. I thought they would not be.
Oh.
And I think I put a lot of pressure on what their reaction was going to be than what it would have been.
Y'all were instrumental in bringing drag culture to India. Please tell me.
I would say so.
Yeah, please tell me where the ideas
all my
came from.
praises, please. Please keep telling me, no, it's no imposter. You are these things.
No, yes, you
No,
are.
so drag was, like I said, obsession since I was a kid, and then it sort of took off once I was in UK. But
Yeah.
there is a small TV show. I'm not paid by them. I wish I was, called RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
And that small TV show has now become a worldwide phenomenon.
Oh, wow.
Because RuPaul is the mother of all drag artists and has had a career of over 40 years in the business in United
Wow.
States and has subverted gender norms for so long. And she herself calls herself a marketing genius, and I agree. She's a subversive marketing genius.
So, what kind of aspirations do you have as a leader now today?
So I think that we don't have enough leaders.
Okay.
We don't have enough openly out there leaders in the country. There are 2-3 things that I'm sort of need to work on. Is a boardroom diversity. I really would like, and not like, I am going to push to have a transgender representation sitting on my board of directors.
Yeah.
I think that we also need a lot of queer champions out there. Not enough in India.
That's true.
Saurabh Kirpal is one of them. Of course, the lawyers, Menika Guruswamy, Arundhati. But I don't think that they're still very open in the media front.
Like Bollywood doesn't talk about it.
In,
Social
they talk
media
about
also.
it. I think Bollywood has changed. So I think a lot of the OTT platforms and the writers and directors are very open about their sexuality. So there are people like Apoorv, there are people like Faraz, there's Ghazal.
Onir,
Yeah, and Onir, of course. And so I think because they're in the writing rooms, and a lot of the writing rooms in Netflix and Amazon Prime have a lot of people from the community. So the narratives have changed in a big way.
Yeah.
But now what we need is that we need queer people playing those characters also.
True.
I'm not a firm believer that only you should play
business.
But I do think that we need that. We have somebody like Datti Chand, for example, India's fastest woman, is an openly lesbian. And that narrative of it being just a privileged issue actually has to change.
True.
Because it is not an urban thing. Queer people exist in every part of the country.
Yeah.
And there are, if you want to go out there and actually find them, do it. My request to everybody is queer the pitch.
Yeah.
Every pitch that you make, queer it.
Yeah.
When I launched my foundation in 2018, the Keshav Suri Foundation, we did a panel discussion, a full day conference where every panel had a queer representative, including trans political MLAs from Bombay, Priya Patil, and we had trans lawyers from Hyderabad, Satya, and we had, there was a gay representation, a lesbian representation. I understand that, okay, we don't want to make it tokenistic. You don't want it as a tokenism. And I get the whole point of tokenism, not wanting that. But if people would have come to that conference, seen the variety of people from all walks of society, this conversation on it being just a privileged or a urban elitist issue would not have come. Because it isn't.
It isn't.
It isn't.
Love of all kinds can exist everywhere.
Absolutely. And the word queer, couple of years ago, it was so derogatory, at least in India, right?
Yeah.
But now, proudly, my entire team of 3,000 people and their extended family and all are saying, no, we're queer.
Yeah.
And what is queer? It is everybody. I know that it can become very non-dating for people to say, oh, LGBTQIA+. And, they are the alphabet mafia and from A to Z.
I'm sorry,
but I am saying we want everybody from A to Z.
Yeah.
Everybody is queer.
Works.
Come join us. Come work with us. The queer mafia, as you call it, come be with it, because what are you doing? You're just basically putting to light an existing community that is right, and you're just doing the right thing.
Yeah, but just to not be a person who shows like pity, go find out about the closest pride parade to you and keep walking.
Please.
Just be an ally, be an accomplice. Please. I think that's a big takeaway from this.
Please, and support queer businesses. Yes. My team loves me, but also would love increments, and that will happen when more people would come to the Lalit.
Favorite food places in Delhi?
Wait, I'm going to take a few seconds to recover to that. But Pandara Road
Pandara Road?
has, it's legendary. Anybody who wants to Google it, please Google it. But has the best. When I used to eat anda paranthas, my father used to love it.
Where? Which place?
Have more.
Have more, bro. Sawal. Is there any other place that I would go to? Butter chicken, butter naan, best.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Delhi is a vibrant city. A lot has changed over the course of time. Khan Market became one of my other favorite spots.
Yeah. Some of these cafes here are amazing.
Quite amazing. Hoskas Village used to have, I don't know, I've not been there in a very long time, but used to have some brilliant, there used to be a restaurant called Gunpowder. Oh my God.
Oh, I know about this, yes.
Oh my God, was that the best coastal cuisine I've ever had in Delhi.
But your favorite street food places in Delhi?
So, Bengali Market is
sorted.
my favorite street food place. And of course, CP has a lot of stuff as well. Which is
CP, I love Kake the Hotel.
Kake the Hotel, yeah, of course. The Kakori kebabs from there are actually quite delicious. And then of course, Chandni Chowk also, by the way, has some brilliant places to
100%.
eat.
Yeah.
So, I think I would also recommend that. Paranthe Wali Gali.
Yeah, I think a little overrated now, but...
Yeah, okay. I guess over time it happens.
I'm sure.
Right?
That's the thing that happens, true.
But these are the staples. I would say still go to them. They're still amazing places. There's a Haveli now that has opened up in the middle of, I think, Chandni Chowk, which is more for the privileged, posh people. But you can rent it out and you can get that experience of a Haveli.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. This is that category of things, yeah. Mumbai has those bungalows. You can do it in an art deco bungalow and like all of those things. And I'm just like, cool, interesting.
Cancelled. We're cancelled after
नहीं करो वो भी करो सब करो आपको खाना जिधर खाना है खाओ just like do your thing, push your own boundaries, do your own thing.
And of course, giving a shout out to places like Bukhara from ITC were amazing.
100%.
Baluchi from the Lalit is fantastic. These
of
are
course.
my pick.
Plug.
Oko at the Lalit on the 28th floor in Lalit, New Delhi is brilliant.
No, I'm gonna try the sushi. Yes.
Actually brilliant. And also the view. You get a 360-degree view of the entire city. You see every part of it. So all the places that I was just talking about, be it Old Delhi, be it or this part where Shanti
We can actually end this video there.
If you want, we can end it there.
Yeah. So don't forget to.
And I would say go check the toilets out there.
Oh yeah. Do you already have a bunch of very good art in the Lalits across Mumbai and Delhi? One random shout out to the Lalit for no goddamn reason is the smell. That whiff of that perfume I have loved. I was instantaneously transported back to Mumbai right now when I entered in the morning.
Okay, so this is called the Lalit perfume.
Oh, what? This is an OG?
Yes, and it was created by my husband Cyril because he does cosmetics.
What?
And he does perfume.
I did not know any of this.
So random, and he would be so happy, Cyril, to hear this because his products are called Chrono Care, and he does spa.
Oh, these are the ones that are in your bathrooms as well. Yeah, I know Chrono Care.
And this is his perfume. He patented this perfume and made it for us. And yes, you're right, you get it in Bombay. Yes, you're right, you get it in Jaipur. You get it in Srinagar. As soon as you enter all our hotels, it's called A Touch of Lalit.
Oh, wow.
The name of the perfume that he coined it is A Touch of Lalit.
Lovely. Hello, Cyril.
Yeah.
Great stuff, brother. I love it.
And
so cool.
Can't wait for marriage equality so we can get divorced soon.
What the fuck? He's like, you didn't ask me any controversial questions.
No.
I'll give you a controversy answer. Go for it.
Here, I've only asked it, I'm giving it.
No, so do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to Mashable India. This video will continue. You will have snippets of the terrace and where we're going to have 2 questions to end this. But how did you like it?
I loved it. You're amazing.
Good fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming down to Delhi.
Basically, my question that remains is the only one that says, you and your mother had this dance around your wedding.
Yes.
Which is very popular. What is the story that it should come from you to the world?
So when I got married, we got married in 2018.
Yeah.
And first, what we did was that we had our legal wedding in where we signed
Yeah.
was in France because it's legal in France.
Correct.
And then when the decriminalization happened,
Then you came to Goa.
we were like, we'll do a reception in Goa. My mother was always like, I did all of these big fat desi weddings
Yeah.
for my daughters. I would do the same for my son.
Super.
So she had a reception here in Delhi first, and then we did this in Goa. Now with my obsession for drag, we had Violet Chachki perform, and we had
You were
Ishi
performing.
Hungry, and then there was this one night where we basically got everybody to cross-dress. So even the guests that came there, they all cross-dressed. So all the girls were doing drag kings and boys were doing queens. And I did this Gaurav Gupta gown with the hair. And Zish did my makeup. And I danced on Kaisi Paheli's in the Gani with my mother. Because she was like, this is the apt song for our journey together. And who is not obsessed with Rekha ji,
Yes.
right?
That's also such a good song to have performed on.
Yeah, and so I was living my best drag Mae West fantasy, and that's why we did it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for speaking to us. I think if there are any other questions, you basically need to drop 1,000 comments on this video and we'll get Keshav Suri back, but in Mumbai this time.
In Mumbai, I would be very happy
why
to
not?
do it in Mumbai, of
Lovely.
course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and listening to me and being so patient.
It was a baller ride. Lot to learn, lot to take back.
A lot more to also talk about.
100%.
You know that I can keep talking forever.
Yeah, so can I. So we should just end it now.
Yeah.
Get us our
Bye.
sushi.
Yes.
Bye, folks.